Let's face it, housing is expensive. But what if you could hack the system, cut your biggest expense, and make money from your home? Sounds impossible, right? It's not. It's called house hacking. And no, I'm not talking about moving back in with your parents or living in a van out by the river, unless that's your thing, of course. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down what house hacking is, how it works, and how you can start living for free, or nearly free, all while building real wealth. House hacking isn't just a trendy buzzword. It's a tried and proven strategy that has transformed people's lives, my own family's included. My parents were house hackers before the internet even came out. When they first bought their house, they were broke. And I mean broke. My dad had just gotten out of the military and was still in college, kind of broke. But they made it work. And I'm going to show you exactly how you can too, even if you're starting from scratch. So what is house hacking? House hacking is a strategy where you live in part of the property and rent out the rest of it to cover housing costs. It's like making your home work for you rather than the other way around. In the case of my parents, they bought a duplex. We lived in one unit and rented out the other. You could also buy a single family home, live in one bedroom and rent out the other bedrooms, or even turn your basement into a rental unit, whatever works for you. But pro tip, multifamily properties are ideal for this strategy, and I'll explain why later in this video. By renting out your property, you're turning housing, your biggest expense, into an investment. You're not just paying rent to someone else, you're building equity and possibly even cash flow. It's like having roommates that pay your rent for you, except you're the landlord and you make the house rules. No eating my snacks suddenly becomes enforceable. For most people, housing eats up between 30 and 50% of their income. With house hacking, you can reduce that to zero or close to it. That's money that you can save, invest, or spoil yourself with, like by buying avocado toast. Obviously. Let's break it down. If you house hack, you're doing three things. First off, you're building equity. Your tenants are essentially helping you pay down your mortgage. The second thing you're doing is building cash flow potential. If your monthly rental income exceeds your expenses, you're making money. If not, you're still going to be saving more money than you would be by renting somewhere else. The third thing that you get to do is take advantage of tax benefits. Landlords get to do things like write off depreciation, repairs, and even mortgage interest. The government loves real estate investors. Let's do a real life example. I hopped on Zillow and found this listing in under 5 minutes. A $285,000 duplex in downtown Columbus. It has two two-bedroom apartments, each renting for $1,400 a month. It does need a little TLC, but there's super minor improvements that anyone can do. Now let's run the numbers. Your estimated monthly payments, including mortgage, taxes, and insurance, come out to $1,900 a month. If you live in one apartment and rent out the other, your monthly costs drop to just $500 a month. And here's the kicker. That $500 isn't just rent. It goes towards building equity for yourself. Seriously, tell me where else you can live in a two-bedroom apartment for just $500 a month in this economy. I'll wait. And if you're thinking, but I don't want to be a landlord, trust me, I get it. Being a landlord is probably one of the most underappreciated career paths you could possibly take. But just because there are bad landlords out there doesn't mean that you have to be one of them. Stick with me. I'll show you how to avoid the headaches. Not all properties are created equal for house hacking. Here's what you should and should not be looking for. Multi-unit properties, duplexes, triplexes, and quads are going to be your bread and butter for this strategy. They're easier to manage, they're safer, and they're easier to rent out. And in the future when you move, renting out the apartment you were living in is super easy. The more apartments, the better, but keep in mind that properties with 5 or more units are considered commercial deals and will require commercial loans, which tend to be far stricter and less advantageous. Single-family homes. Stay away from single-family homes if you can help it. I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. Single-family homes do not make good investments. House hacking with single-family homes is awkward, and renting them out in the future is not nearly as efficient or safe as it would be with multifamily properties. Multifamily properties provide more housing opportunity and allow you to grow your wealth in a more substantial way. They're also better insulated against economic downturn. The last thing you're looking for is location, location, location. Target areas with strong rental demand and amenities such as public transportation or good school systems. Remember that you're living there too, so find a spot that increases your own quality of life. I believe that America is and always has been the land of opportunity. However, much of that opportunity has been stripped away through exploitative business practices, such as using single-family homes for short and long-term rentals. Is there profit to be made? Sure, but that doesn't mean that we should do it. I'm sick and tired of seeing so many financial influencers absolutely destroying our housing market for the average American out of sheer greed and laziness. It's time we take a different approach, one that balances personal success with social responsibility. There are three main ways to finance your first property. With an FHA loan, you can put as little as 3.5% down. On a $400,000 property, that's only $14,000. Second, if you're a veteran, thank you for your service. And think about taking advantage of a zero down VA loan. Lastly, with a solid credit score, you could put as little down on a conventional loan as 5 to 10%, which is much better than the traditional 20% that most people assume that you need. Short on cash? Don't worry about it. There are lots of down payment assistance programs. Alternatively, you could start a side hustle and start saving for your first home. Be sure to check out my other videos for lots of ideas on how to get started. Be sure to always run your numbers. Calculate total expenses, which is going to be mortgage, taxes, property insurance, maintenance, and your vacancy rate. Typical vacancy rates range between 5 and 7%. Lastly, calculate your cash flow. This is going to be your rent income minus your expenses. If you're close to breaking even, you're still saving money. Once you've sealed the deal, be sure to use tools like SmartMove or Cozy to check credit, criminal, and rental history. Remember that good tenants make your life easy. Bad ones make you cry. Being a landlord can be a lot to handle, but that's where my business, Self-Management Solutions, comes in. We provide access to professional property management software like AppFolio, which is normally reserved for big-time property managers, and we handle all of your bookkeeping so that you can focus on what's most important, building your wealth. And the best part? It all starts at just $22 per unit per month. Whether you've got one rental or a portfolio, we've got you covered. Check out the link in the description for more information. Your future self will thank you. Like I mentioned before, my parents were house hackers before it was trendy. In 1997, my parents bought their first property, a duplex, in a working class neighborhood for $186,000. At the time, they were broke. My dad had just gotten out of the military and was currently in college. My mom was working full-time just to make ends meet. Their monthly mortgage was $2,400 per month, which would have been an impossible burden on their income alone. But they had a plan. They rented out the upstairs apartment for $1,300 a month, which covered more than half of the mortgage. Suddenly, what seemed impossible became manageable. We lived in the downstairs apartment, and we improved the property over time, building equity and learning the ropes of property management. That duplex wasn't just a home. It was my family's first step towards financial stability. Watching them turn what little they had into an investment that grew over time showed me that house hacking isn't just a strategy. It's a lifeline for people who are willing to put in the work. Don't want to live with strangers? Start with a duplex or a house with a private basement. Baby steps. Don't have enough money for a down payment? Consider utilizing FHA loans, down payment assistance programs, or save aggressively through a side hustle. Not handy? No problem. Remember, YouTube tutorials can teach you absolutely anything, from fixing a leaky faucet to enforcing your no eating my snacks policy. Never let a lack of knowledge deter you from trying something new. You can always learn along the way. House hacking is just the beginning. Once you've built up equity and saved some more money, you can then leverage that into your next property. Move into the new one, rent out the old one, and create a growing, passive income stream to fund your lifestyle. The goal isn't just to live for free. It's to use house hacking as a stepping stone towards financial freedom. Once your passive income exceeds your expenses, congratulations, you've escaped the race. And now you can build any future that you want for yourself. House hacking lets you live for free, build wealth, and sets you up for long-term success. It is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but it is a proven method to financial freedom. If this video inspired you, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. What's stopping you from giving house hacking a try? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to help you out.